Thank you everyone for joining in today, this evening, for a Saturday evening on top of that, for going through this session with me. I am Nandita Sugandhi, your host for the evening, and a little bit about me. I'm currently working as productivity manager at Mondelez International, which is formerly known as Cadbury India Private Limited. I am a graduate in civil engineering and a master's of management, majoring in operations and supply chain. My profile also has been in relation to operations and supply chain. Currently, I am pursuing a second MBA in project management, which is more relevant to my profile right now because I handle a portfolio, an entire project portfolio, and I'm doing my MBA in project management from IIM Mumbai. So that's a little bit about me, a little bit about the series that we have been having. We are having these connects almost every Saturday where I try to share my experience so far to enable our peers to be able to uh, perform better in terms of their education, in terms of their career, how to land a job, how to make presentations, make public speaking. This series now has gone to more towards a little more towards harder skills, I would say, although they are digital, but harder skills, I would say. Today, we are going to delve into Microsoft Excel because that had been a popular demand from us last time. That Excel is something that everyone would want to learn and understand. What we would be doing is splitting the learnings on Excel in a series of 3 sessions. So today it will be just a beginner lecture where I take you through the layout, I take you through the basic functions and what Excel is all about. In the coming sessions, we would be covering more advanced functions like how to put references, how to cross-reference a table, how to generate graphs, how to and then further in more advanced session, probably we can do pivot charts and how to work with formulas in pivot charts, how to do goal programming in Excel, and so this is the agenda for now. Please feel free anytime to put in chat any questions that you have. We'll address them towards the end of the session. And in case if you have anything in particular, even in Excel, that you would want covered in this or in future subsequent sessions, then please do give your recommendation. They would be thoroughly heard and be taken care of. So here I am sharing my screen. Let me know when my screen becomes visible. Now, participants, please feel free to open Excel on your screens as well. Just to
Yeah.
call out, my version might be a little different than yours. Someone might be carrying 2021 version, some might be carrying 2016 version. So the interface might have minor differences as every year they come up with new updates and new features. But more or less, the gist of it remains to be the same. So do not fret if you find minor differences. Feel free to open up Excel, explore options as I speak in parallel. With this, we get into the intro to basics of Excel session. This is our session number 5 in the series. I'm very happy to announce that. Uh, Firstly, to understand what is Excel, though, because we keep hearing about it, I'm sure a lot of you must have heard about it as well. But assuming that we are talking or we are speaking on a blank slate today, let's go with a definition of what Excel is. It's a powerful data collation, analysis, and visualization tool. It's in a tabular format. So generally, whenever we have data is a collection of individual information points, and the most systematic way to have a large set of data is not have it in a set or a text format, but rather have it in a tabular format. And that is how most of the data management tools work. They use a table and then they do analysis on those tables, and they modify and restructure the data on that table to be able to take subsets and derive insights. The sole idea of having a tool to be able to analyze data is to be able to derive insights and take action on it. Okay. A plus point that comes with Excel is that you have charts and graphs also available, and so a very large set of data could be visualized in terms of images, infographics as well, and that makes it a very, very powerful tool. So there are some features of Excel that I have listed down here. I just go through them one by one. So first thing is that it has a spreadsheet layout, and by spreadsheet we mean that there is a grid there, and when we go through the interface you will see it's a set of rows and columns so that you can enter your data in a tabular format. It has multiple worksheets or leaves in a single file, and so you can have multiple worksheets and workbooks. So it has a very systematic layout, so to say, to be able to organize your data. You can enter your data in it manually. So you can enter data in it, you can store data in it, you can save it for your future reference. It can be text, it can be number. There are many types of data which is supported in Excel. It can be currency, it can be date and time format, accounting format, anything of that nature. There are formulas as well that you can store in it and save in it, so you can do an analysis and you can save that analysis for your future use, and you can do self formatting basis that, so that your data is categorized more in a more visually appealing manner. Data analysis is one of the most powerful aspects of Excel. You can make pivot tables, as I have touched upon, and in future sessions, I will have a large enough data set for all of us to make pivot tables as well. And most important use of it in organizations or in corporates is scenario building. I'll give you an example on scenario building. So, say for example, an organization wanted to take a decision that I have 20 distribution locations in India. I do not know whether I have to add a 21st distribution location in India. Say, for example, in Madhya Pradesh, they have a distribution center in Bhopal, say Hindustan Unilever Limited, and they want to decide whether they want to have a depot or a warehouse in Indore or not. And you can run those scenarios whether it makes sense or not commercially, basis the investment and the gains that they get out of it, whether it is a profitable scenario or not. And they can build in multiple assumptions in it and can have different variations of that scenario available to compare. And this is very useful in taking management decisions. So scenario building is one important aspect of data analysis that you can use here. Data visualization, as I have captured earlier, you have charts and you have graphs which you can develop. You can do conditional formatting on your tables. So if you have a tabular data set, you can easily highlight the outliers, and you can filter out the outliers. There is automation option also available, which I would like to call out, that automation of Excel sheet is not a part of this three part series that we would be doing, writing macros and VBA, because you need further language knowledge for that. uh, and you can then further collaborate, so it could be a shared Google sheet or Google Drive. Just like that, on your drive you can share a Google sheet and multiple people can simultaneously edit and there put their comments and notes, which makes it a very collaborative and easy to handle tool. So this is what an Excel as a software is. Where could you use it? It's a dynamic versatile tool, but it has its own limitations. If you don't mind, I will just jump to a sample sheet because I feel that uh, so you have a sample Excel sheet here. So say for example, if you would see, we are on the first cell. If you go to the last cell, there is about 1 million row items and XF detail XFD column. So about a few hundred to 300 column items that are there. And that is the limitation of this data set, that you cannot handle a larger data than this. Rarely you will come across, but big data cannot be handled in an Excel sheet. You will need specialized tools and softwares for it. There are certain features, for example, when you make a pivot table, you cannot make a pivot table of a pivot table. So if you think that the data is a fabric, it's a two-way fabric with rows and columns. It's a plane and you fold it one way, you cannot refold it another way to get further insight. So it's not as powerful as we would like to believe. And then in terms of visualization as well, it's not as dynamic. Sometimes Power BI and Tableau are such softwares which are a little more visual in aspect of data. Excel is not as dynamic, making dashboard is a little more tedious in comparison. So yeah, it comes with its own limitations, but so far it is one of the most used softwares which is out there in the organizations. Where can you use it? I would say that If you are not even an organization or a corporate employee, you can use it for personal use. I personally use it for planning my vacations, holidays, itineraries, making my budget. You can make a target budget, you can put actuals against it and just find out what the variances are. You can make a tight chart and you can make templates and save in there. uh, you can use it for financial purposes. So say for example, if you were taking a loan for a car, if you took say for example a 10 lakh loan and you wanted to amortize it over a period of 5 years, so how much would be the EMI, in what month, in which month, in the next 5 years, how much loan value would be left, all of that could be simulated via Excel. It's very easy to do that. You can make your own balance sheet while doing your income tax statements. You can make your balance sheets on Excel. You can do cash flow simulations for an organization, or you can even do an investment break even analysis. And by break even analysis, if you have got an income from an investment and there is a spend that you are doing, the point at which your spend becomes equal to the earnings, after which your earnings start becoming profitable, you can find that point using Excel as well. In organization, it's common. You can do inventory management, you can create dashboards, dynamic dashboards which enable management decisions, you can run simulations as I've said before, and you can even do your network analysis. So it's more about how can you be creative with what you have learned. Certainly very very useful from schools to corporates to personal use, anywhere and everywhere. If you have data available, Excel could be used. So why this session? I believe very very important because it's so versatile. Now coming to what is your basic Excel layout, and I hope that this will give our users or our audience a little more understanding of what we are talking about. This is what a basic Excel sheet looks like, and I'll just switch my screen as well. It looks identical to what I have shown in my presentation. In my presentation, if you would see on the very top, what we have is called as a title bar. It is there in every application in your system. Basically, this is where you would have the title of your sheet or your file. Then you would have a menu bar where you will have a list of menu items which are either drop down depending on the version of Excel you have, if it's very old, or it would open up in a ribbon below, which is your toolbar or a ribbon bar, below which you have a formula bar where the formulas would show up. There is a column bar which you would see A, B, C, D, E, F, which shows the title or the headers of the columns which are there in the grid. There is a row bar which shows the names of the rows 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. There is the spreadsheet area where you have cells where you feed in individual data points, which is where all the magic happens. You have two scroll bars to just navigate your sheet. There is one leaf bar where you can add multiple sheets. So, excuse me, if you would see, I have sheet 1, 2, and 3 open here, and I can toggle in between them. Yeah. And there is some data here, there is another data here, there is another data here, so you can just toggle in between them. You can rename the sheets as well. And then at last you have a status bar which gives you the status of your sheet. If there is any operation, then the status of the running operations, and zoom on. So this is a basic layout of how an Excel tab or a window looks like. Moving on, what I would like to do today is kind of familiarizing you with the interface. So I have just opened up the Excel software itself, and I just run you through what is what today, so that you know what lies where, and then we can get on to formulas and more advanced functions. So the first one at the top, what we have is called as a title bar. This is quick access ribbon. At the left, you can turn it on or off, or on or off from here. You can hide it, you can show it from the bottom. uh, so what you can do here is, if there is any operation that you frequently use, for example, you make a sheet and you frequently need to take prints. You don't want to give a print command, or you don't want to go to files and then give a print. So you just add a print preview and print option here. It turns up it puts up an icon there, and it just directly sends you to the operation. So you can customize it as per your needs. Very handy, I would say. Then you would have the menu bar, and menu bar is important because this is where your entire functionality of Excel lies. So you will have items like home, insert, draw, page layout. Draw is I have because it's a touchscreen laptop. Not everyone would have draw, so don't fret if you don't have it. When you select any of these menu items except for file, the ribbon below will change. Say for example, you can see this ribbon below, which has a certain set of operations. If I switch to insert, the set of operations will change or the functionalities will change. Um Going item by item, firstly, if you go to file, you will have options like saving the file, printing the file, exporting the file as PDF, publishing it in Power BI, and then options. Some options are important if you want to add any specific add-ins, or if you want to change your trust settings in Trust Center. A little advanced in here, but you can do all of that here. uh, then comes the home bar where most of your cell, uh, I would say, how do you format your cell? Those kind of items lie. So I'll just give you an example. Uh, I love working on Excel. That's what I have put. This is one data point that I have put in a cell. You see cell address here. This is C3. Okay. Now if I just want to format that cell, say for example I wanted to increase the font size, then I have everything related to font here. I have things related to the color of the font here, the background color of the cell itself. So you can explore this for yourself. You will have the font, you have the clipboard copy paste command, but usually people use the shortcut Control C and Control V or Control X for cutting. So usually this clipboard's part is not used. You have alignment options. So if you would see, there is, this is left justified, right? Now I can change the justification to center. If this, I increase the height of this, I just touch it and drag it down. It sits at the very bottom. I can make it middle justified and it looks much more cleaner. So having a clean sheet is very, very important, because it brings, it makes your data set much more attractive and easy to work on. Likewise, you will have things on alignment. You can even merge multiple tabs together. And now, if I say I love working on Excel, uh, it will just it will put one data point in three different cells together. So you can merge and center the cells as well. You can change the data type. So, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have just put data, and if I select it, the data type is general. Okay. General means that no specific data type is right now allocated to it. Now, if I make it number, it becomes a number data type, 1.00 with two decimal point. You can in fact increase or decrease the number of decimals that you want to display. It is always recommended that you do one or two, not more than that, for the sake of cleanliness. You can add currency in here. So if you're making anything like a balance sheet, one shortcut is from here. You will have dollars and INR here. If you have any other number formats that you want to use, you can open an entire tab here from formatting the cells. You will have an entire list of accounting formats. Any country's currency, every country's currency would be here, from Bahraini dinar to Nigerian naira, everything would be there. Likewise, you can choose here as percentage, or if I make 40,000 or 400,000 rather, then in international system you can just oh, this is using Indian system right now, so you can provide your commas as well, just for the sake of more legibility. So that is there. Now say for example, if I did some category and I did expenses, for example, category is food, I'm putting monthly expenses, say for example ration, transportation, clothes. I'm just putting random numbers here. Food is say 15,000, ration is 20,000, transportation is 10,000, clothes is 15,000 again. See, if I have put it and now I want to call out that if I have spent more than 15,000 on anything, it is exceeding my budget. My budget was 15,000 on individual item. I can go ahead conditional formatting. I can go to highlight cell rules. There are various options available here for greater than, less than. If you want to really customize your options, you can go to more rules here. You can put, say for example, cell value if it is going to be greater than, say, 16,000. Then I can set up a format here. I can put the color red uh, for my text, and it will automatically turn my text to 20,000 to red. And if anything is, say, highlight cell, say less than, say, 12,000, then I was within my budget, and so it's green with light light green filling with light green text. You can select multiple cells and do it in parallel, do it all together at one go, so it will do multiple options for you instead of you having to individually choose and decide, take a decision whether you were within the budget or out of the budget. It does that automatically for you basis a rule that you define, and which is why conditional formatting is so powerful. Now another thing that you can do is, you can put filters. I want to use the shortcut, but let me show you how to do it. You go to data, you put a filter. So you will get filter. I'll go back to home, and if I want, I can filter by color. I can filter by color. I can filter by even font color. So this is very powerful for me. I can just list down every expense category where I was red. So this is how you use conditional formatting. Another important thing which I find very useful is formatting as a table. Uh, and I'll just show you a sample. Uh, I'll just open, and I'm doing this just because I don't want it to get copied as a table. I can just select this, uh, no fill, black text. I'll go to format as a table, select where I want to select, and I will define the range of the table and say that my table has headers. Once I do this, it creates a table object in the memory. And if I go to table design, it will give a name to the table, which you can rename, by the way. This is like a sales table for me, sales underscore table for me. I can resize the table. Very useful operation in here is, for example, if I wanted to know from my total sales how much was the how many units did I sell, I put the formula only in one cell, and it automatically creates a column for me. It names the column for me, units sold, and it drags the formula down to the entire table. So all the cells in the table behave in the same manner. When you have large data sets, creating table is very, very helpful. And just see the nature of the formula which is being given here. It is total by unit cost, at total by at unit cost. It just means that whichever row this formula is referring to, or whichever row this value is in, it is taking value of that row from column total, dividing it by column unit cost. So tables are easy, handy, and completely recommended. You can insert and delete rows as well. So for example, I have region, I have representation, a representative, and I have an item. Okay, now what I wanted was, I wanted to club region and representative in a single string. Okay, how would I do that? So do not mind the formula. All that I'm doing, I'll show you to insert a row or a column two ways. One is through your mouse, through the ribbon, and then one through shortcut. uh, Select column D, say for example, I want after region and representative, I want a string which combines. So I want a column which reads East Jones and then East Parent and then East Kivel. Okay, I select column D till the very end. I go to insert and I do insert columns, and it will add a column for me. Okay, and I can just put a formula, and this, and now it will give me East Jones, East Parent, Central Kivel. I can just concat one. Okay, that was one way you can insert your rows or columns or cells from here. Another shortcut is you go to the cell. I want to add it here one more time. Control Shift down will select the table. One more time you press down, it will select it till the end of the sheet, and then Control Shift plus. Plus will add a column automatically. If I do a Control Shift minus, sorry, a Control minus, then it will delete it. To add it, you have to do Control Shift plus, and to delete it, you have to do a Control minus. That's how you can add or delete rows or columns. Same thing can happen for rows as well. Control Shift right will select till the edge of table. One more time you hit arrow, it will select till the end of the sheet. Control Shift plus will add a row. Control minus will delete the row. So that's on the shortcut. Is that clear? Okay. So that's on cells. You can fill in, autofill, clear, delete something, and all of that as well. You can find something. Control F is find. So if I wanted to search where is name Thompson, I can just do a Control F, type Thompson, and it will select the cell where I have this data. If I wanted to replace it with Stuart, it will replace it with Stuart, and now Thompson is Stuart. Okay. So there you have find and replace. You can do it from here, or you can just hit a Control F. That's your home ribbon. Okay. Now coming to insert ribbon. Insert ribbon, I think, is one of the most useful ribbons in Excel, because you can insert multiple items. You can insert a pivot table, you can insert images, you can insert shapes, smart art, chart. Uh, you can insert slices on a pivot table, which we will discuss in the upcoming sessions, or even an link or an object in Excel. You can embed an object in Excel as well. Now, I will just show you how to insert a picture. I think that this is going to be a longer than a three part series. Insert a picture from this device. I will just select one sample picture and hit insert. And my object or my picture is here. It's useful when you have to, for example, you are making a process flow diagram, and you want to show a picture of a tea. So say for example, if I was making a process flow diagram of a tea, and I want, imagine this is a picture of tea, I can hit insert. I can add in shapes in here as well. So if I wanted to make tea, my process would be pour water in pot, then, sorry, I'm very particular about my alignments, and then just create a copy of it. So now you have shapes. You can add maybe an arrow here, and you can see now add tea to boil, and I can add further steps, and now you have a process flow diagram. So you can make process flow diagram. You don't need to always make this in PowerPoint presentation. You can add this in Excel as well. So you can have calculations on the left and process on the right. So this is also very, very handy insert function. Then you have smart art. You can insert smart art, which is very similar to PowerPoint. I'll not get into it today. Even the charts and graphs, this we will do into the next week's session. But you can insert a lot many things in here. I will go to page layout. I'll just give you an overview of what it is. You can change. Just a moment, please.
Sure.
Okay, sorry. So you can basically change the way the page looks like. Okay, so you can change the margins when you are printing your sheet. You may want to select your sheet, and you may want to print it. So you can just select and set the print area and just print that much. You can remove the grid lines if you wanted. If you can see, I have now removed the grid lines and now it is visible. Whatever way is more comfortable to you. uh, you can have headings or you can remove headings. By headings you mean the name of the columns or the rows. So all of that is there. You can play around with the page layout as well. The most interesting part of it, which is your formulas, which is your formulas. So you will have a lot of functions here, and Excel is very, very powerful as a data analytical tool because it has a lot of functions inbuilt into it. You don't need to have knowledge of a language, a computer language, or be able to write a lot of commands in order to be able to do your data analysis, right? Like I just showed you on how I did a calculation on the number of units sold. Same thing, if you want to insert a function, there is a very cool little option. You can click on insert function and it will open up a window for you, which is called as insert function. If you don't know what function to use, then you can actually type it out and it will give you a recommendation of which function to use. Okay, so say for example, if you wanted to add something or you wanted to sum something, and if I hit go, it will give me all the functions related to sum. Okay, and if I click on that function, then it will give me a description of what this function does. If I hit OK, then it will give me an option to select arguments as well. I'll go with a simpler function rather than aggregate. Maybe I'll go to insert function and I'll just do a simple sum. Uh, so I go to sum, I hit OK. It will open up another window that give your arguments, give your numbers. I want to sum the total earnings we did this year. So I go to total and I just drag and drop till the very bottom. So my table 3 total column is selected and I hit OK. It will give me a sum of the entire sales I did. So this is where you can access your functions, insert functions, but it's a little cumbersome, right? If you are very new to Excel, then I recommend using insert function, or when you don't know about a function. If you know about it already, it's easier to type it out, because say for example, if I wanted to do the same thing, sum, and I just selected it and hit enter, it will give me the same result. So if you know some basic functions, it's always useful. Now the same functions have been categorized into various categories in here and have been displayed here for your easier use. So say for example, if I go to logical, I go to if, and it gives me a logical test. If my total sales is greater than 15,000, then I hit target. So I say a win, otherwise I say a lose and give it an okay. And I lose because I actually sold less than 15,000 INR or USD, whatever this currency is. So you can insert your functions from here. You need not know about if and else and nested ifs right now. I will cover that in a different session. But the takeaway of the day from here is that you can actually access your list of functions from here, and you can just scroll down and see there are many interesting functions here. There is convert your degrees to radians, you can have sequence, you can round up a function, you can round up a number, you can round down a number, you can find square root of something directly, you can sum product something. So there are some basic very important functions also here available. I would say today after the lecture or after this session, if you have some time, go take some time out for yourself and explore the function library. It's very very interesting. And if you don't know what to do with a certain function, help is always available. You can just go to search button and you can just type the name of the function and click on it, and it will take you to the function arguments, and it will take you to help for it as well. Okay. uh, you can name a cell, you can name a table. This is very important. Formula auditing, okay, this is something that I really want to cover really well. uh, Formula auditing allows you to identify errors if there are any in this sheet. What you have in front of you right now is fairly simple. Right now there is nothing which has formulas except for the ones that I've inserted. So if you click on show formulas, it will just show where there are formulas available. So I have concatenated these two strings together, and so there is a concat formula in this column, and then there are units sold formula in this column, but otherwise there is no formula. It's a fairly simple sheet, so there is no error. But say for example, if I converted one of my unit cost to zero, it costs nothing. So you have an error, division by zero, right? And now there is an error in what you have done. So you can do error checking here. You just do an error checking, and it will tell you which cell has an error, and you can just go to next and continuously resolve those errors. So that way you can make your entire sheet error proof. You can search for help on this error, so it will tell you what kind of error this is. This is divide by zero error. You can edit it in formula bar, uh, or you can just show the calculation steps on how this error is coming. And if you do an evaluate, it will give you 139.93 by 0, and dividing by 0 will give you an error. So that's where the issue is, right? I'll just make this 2 for sake of correction. So you can do error checking, you can trace the errors as well. So what will happen is, okay, I'll make it 0 again so that we learn how to trace errors. uh, Pardon me, you go to trace error, and this will show where is an error and on which cell the value is dependent, so that you can find out where the error is originating. You can inspect these three cells where the arrows are highlighted, where the dots are highlighted, and you can resolve your error. Okay. And then you can just click this and remove your arrows and correct your error, and now the sheet is again error free. uh, if you select a certain cell, you can trace precedents if you click on it, or you can trace dependents. So if I click on it and trace dependents, it will show me that this value is used somewhere else in the sheet, here in the sheet. And so if this this value is wrong, then the other value gets affected. So auditing, formula auditing is very very important. People miss out on this part of Excel, but I find it particularly useful, especially if you handle large data sets and do large data analysis. uh, Coming to data, uh, so data is important. Data you can manually enter in here in Excel. There are another ways to enter data in Excel. You need not do it only with manual entry. You can import it from other files as well. You can do it from a Word file, from a WordPad file, any kind of file you have, different kinds of file you have. You can just click on get data from a file, and then these are the different file formats which are being supported, from which you can import the data. And then you might have to do a little bit of text manipulation. You need to have some separators, which we will discuss about later on, and you will be able to kind of create your own data set from a reference file. uh, there is an option to refresh. So when you have a lot of pivot tables, or there are multiple sheets and there are cross references, then it's a good idea to refresh data once every while, so that your data gets updated in case if it is not updated. So there is an option of refresh or refresh alls. You can sort and filter stuff. So this is what I was discussing about, right? You select your table, filter it out, and now what I want to do is I want to sort it by number of say units sold. I want to find out in which area which person sold the maximum number of units. So what I will do is I will go to the column basis which I want to sort the entire table. I will open this up. I will sort largest to smallest. So that will give me a largest to smallest sorting. Same thing I can do it sort smallest to largest. I can even do a custom sort. So if you go to advanced, then you can have an advanced filter as well. And you can create filters and you can copy this to another location as well. So all of those options are also available, which we can discuss further more in detail. Then there is data validation, and I'll share an example of data validation with you. Uh, uh, Say, for example, target achieved, yes, no. Okay, this is what I wanted to add as a column, and I just do a yes and a no. I created a list of two options, yes and no. Now I selected the cells. I go to data validation. I select data validation, and I allow only a list of items. Okay. And I select my source, yes or no. These two cells I have selected. So now the cells in which I am putting the data validation, I'll be able to put only two values. Either I'll be able to put a yes or a no, nothing else it will accept. So if I just hit OK, and if I go to a cell, it will give me a drop down which will give me yes or no, nothing else. If I want to write achieved, it will not accept. It will throw me an error saying that this value does not match the data validation. So this way you can actually limit the data, or create data sanctity in terms of the kind of data inputs that you are getting. So agar aapne, if you have given your data set to 20 people saying ki just fill in the form and tell me whether you have achieved the target or not, some will say achieved the target, some will just say achieved, some will say yes, but you want to have crisp data, just a yes or no. That in those cases, having these drop downs using data validation is very, very useful. Likewise, you can remove duplicates as well. So 1 2 3 4 5 1 4 5. Say for example, I have some data where there are duplicate uh, numbers. So, or this works for text as well. If there are duplicates, I can just select the cells and I say remove duplicates, and it will just give me the unique values available. So in case if you have a data set where you want to find out, if you asked someone to make an application for a job, and say you have 50 applications, but some people applied twice with different CVs, and you just want to filter the unique number of people and say only 47 unique applications are there, you can just select their names and remove the duplicates, and it will just give you unique IDs. So data tools are useful. There are some advanced data tools as well, which we will not cover today. And then there is a what if analysis and forecast sheet as well, but which I will not be covering today. Maybe we will do it when we do goal programming. I will quickly browse through the rest of the ribbons as well, and I think we will close the sessions today at ribbons, at the ribbon bar. you have a review tab where the important part is language, spelling, and thesaurus is fine, but an important aspect is protecting your sheet. So what you can do is you can actually protect your sheet. You can select locked and unlocked cell, and you can create a password. I'm just putting 1234, and I have now logged my sheet. Now, if I share this with someone else, and if they want to edit it, they cannot edit it. If they try to write anything, I'm just trying to type something here, they will not be able to edit it, saying that this is a protected worksheet. You have to enter a password. So you will have to unprotect the sheet first. And so the person has to know the password. And now the sheet has become unprotected. And now it will allow re editing the file. Okay, so protection is a very important feature, especially if you want safety of your data and you are sharing it with multiple stakeholders who should not have access to edit it, and you're not sure whether they will edit it or not. So you can just protect one sheet, or you can protect the entire workbook. There is an option to protect the entire workbook as well, or you can allow edit ranges, which we will see when we do advanced protection. But you can certainly I want this to be not editable. I want only this target achieved section to be editable. So I can just select this, and then I can allow edit ranges, and I can create new, and I can only allow edit ranges first and then protect the sheet. So this is on review. View, I think we have discussed in part earlier what kind of views you want to see. This is a normal grid view. There is a page break view. If I select this, then it will just show me the table or text which is available in one page, and everything else will be grayed out. Or there is a page layout. So if I were to take a printout, how it will look like. So in one page, it will look like this. I will just zoom out for your better reference. So if I take a printout, this is how the printout will come. It will come in 3 pages, and the 3 pages, the table will break. And so I need to remedy this somehow if I want the table in a single paper. So this is how you can change the views. You can zoom in, zoom out. You can zoom in, zoom out from the bottom status bar as well. You can zoom out, zoom in as much as you want. Then you can freeze panes. This is very, very important. So say for example, I just wanted to see which region and representative is there, and I want to be able to go to the very right of the sheet. So I can freeze panes. Just select freeze panes. uh, I'm sorry, there is some issue with my system. Okay, now it's sorted. Now I had selected D2 and I had frozen panes from there. So if I will go down, uh, it will me. So this part of the table is frozen, and I can navigate elsewhere in the sheet. Very, very useful when you have huge tables. You have like 50 columns or 100 columns, and you just want the some data to be visible at the very left, which is your reference data. So this is your view, and then there is help. This is just help and support center. You can just search something. I think there is some issue with my connection. It's a new system, so might be some issue there, but you can always call out help from here. So uh, this is it on the ribbon aspect. Today, I think I'll close it at here because we have reached 6 o'clock and I feel like I am overloading. I would rather open the session to questions today, and we can split this session into more than 3 sessions. We can split this entire Excel learning into more than 3 sessions.